My life. What have I done to it? I've ruined it. I'd have to say it was May 3rd or 4th when I first started on CreepyPasta Wiki. I could tell that this is a perfect site for me. Horror stories were probably my most favourite thing to read, but it seems as if I've made my life one. Please forgive me for any possible spelling errors because I'm shaking so badly. I started reading 1 or 2 stories a day, and on occasions of being bored, 3 to 4. It was my favourite part of the day, but I usually had too much to do. I had 4 dogs and no furniture except for my bed, and at some points I just had to shut myself in my room and get on the wiki. CreepyPasta Wiki seemed to lead me to read more and more stories. I would persist to have nightmares every night and get no sleep whatsoever. Some of the stories that I read when I first started on the wiki still scare me to this point, even though I've gone completely insane. If you saw me, you might lead yourself to think that I'm a perfectly sane person, but no. I'm shaking while I write this. I'm seeing things, and oh God, how I want to leave this house. After about a month, I was up to reading 30 a day, mostly at night since I wasn't getting to sleep anyway. My mum came to the house one day and screamed at what she saw. She told me how I should go to the doctor right away. She came in the house and gagged at the smell of it. I hadn't cooked in over 2 weeks, and she found 2 of my 4 dogs lying dead from starvation. My mother grabbed me by the shoulders and tried to remove me from the building. I remember grabbing a knife, and that's the last thing I can bring myself to recall. I awoke after what seemed like a week to see me hooked up to an IV. Apparently my mother came over to find all my dogs dead. She said I was crying and whispering to myself, while my screen had other stupid creepypasta on it. She said she immediately grabbed me by my shoulders and rushed me to the car, but I stumbled back into the kitchen to grab a knife. I had stabbed myself. However, nothing seemed to matter anymore. My mother died a week ago. After half a week of being hospitalized, I came home. That night, I began to browse the wiki again, and about a week later I started to hallucinate. I have managed to pay my bills for the past month, but I will soon lose everything. I worked overtime almost every night last month, night after night, to save up money so I could sit in my house and read stories. Now here we are, the end of October. Halloween is here. The joys of fall everywhere, while I'm doomed to this damned life of horror and agony. What have I done with myself? Why have I destroyed my life? This is no story. This is my suicide note. My name was Tyler James. Don't forget. Never forget.